It was a fantastic pot. The pink on the cushion, the black awkward. He potted them all, 3-2. And John Higgins was in complete control. It seemed, heading towards 4-1. This has suddenly got a lot closer.
Yeah, and John will be thinking not so much about the clearance, more about how he got into a little bit of a predicament where he didn't get on the pink right, missed it to the middle. He looked for all the world as if he was just going to pop what was there and get the frame one. And as I said before, it's kind of what has happened to him a few times for a couple of seasons now. Sometimes I think has it become more psychological than anything else? Well, I guess we'll see how this all pans out.
Also, the shot he played on the last red, he tried to put the black on the cushion. It didn't quite go as safe as it could have done. And he left a pot at the red, even although having said that, it was an incredible pot.
That's a good point. And, you know, he could have actually tried a little bit harder to get a snooker. I mean, I'm certainly not telling John how to play, of course, but, you know, it's maybe a decision he would have done differently now. As you say, trying to kill the black and left the red in open play, and that was his last shot. So all these little things. And now he's made another mistake there, and that's a sizable error. So it's like the wheel's fallen off. It just come a little bit loose.
One. Eight. Nine.
First term pro as a teenager in 2010. He'd won the World Under-21 Championship. Dropped off, but it's been
14.
back on now for a decade. And it's been as high as 22 in the world. Currently 26. Obviously can go higher. Were he to go all the way this weekend.
15.
He was kind of just being completely shut out, wasn't he? But things have changed dramatically.
Well, that's going to be okay, even if he's not on that left-hand red, which he'd like to be. The red to the middle is on.
22.
It was a nice split. The reds have been fully developed there.
He's
got to play another shot here positionally, which is to avoid a bulk colour playing back down for a red. Which he's done very nicely. Just getting into that groove, isn't he? Noppon, which he can do. It could be a surprise that he's never won anything before when you see him like this.
$29.
And he just hits the ball that fraction harder than other players I've seen. Just thuds into the back of the pockets.
34.
I want to say other players I've seen. I'm talking about other leading players, not people you see down in the billiard hall who just whack balls as hard as they can. Just a lot of the top players stroke the balls in so gently because they've got the conditions to suit them, but Noppon just gives it a little bit more, especially at long range.
$43.
He's a man for close matches. He qualified for the Crucible last season with a black ball win 10-9 over Zhang Anda, who of course has gone on to great things this season. Quite a great last black, actually. When you meet him, you know, he's a lovely guy and very humble and down to earth, but snooker players often change when they put that attire on, get out there with the cue in the arena. Then you really see what they're like.
$51. $56. Thank you. 57.
Now, just got to be careful here. Which red would he be trying to play on? Because those five down the centre are all tying each other up a little bit. Not bad. He knew he could screw off the right side of the bunch, and the red out and open play would also come into the equation. Just a red and almost any colour will do. Just struggle to pop one or two balls in this middle pocket. I'm not sure this is not another one of those.
$65.
Well, still needs this in. John Higgins was sailing towards a 4-1 lead, wasn't he? He left himself that slightly awkward pink that he missed in the last frame. And Noppon Saengkham has taken advantage. It's been a great break. Higgins needs one snooker. This was it. He was on 53 at the time, and that was his reaction.
If you could go back about 6 shots earlier in that break, 5 or 6 shots, you know, that it didn't seem likely that he was going to break down until there was hardly anything left on the table. It's a certainty to win the frame. And what a great shot that is. It was only one snooker, but he has now put the frame to bed, it would appear.
Yeah, this very impressive, this from Noppon Saengkham. Wasn't at all demoralised by the way Higgins was playing. Waited for his chance, and now has grabbed it with both hands. He's already had 5 centuries in this tournament. Chance for another one here.
76. 77. $84.
So Higgins has got to dig in. It's kind of what happened last night as well. He was in control against Ford. There was
85.
one shot that changed that match. It was a red that he missed in the fourth frame. Of course, he did win eventually, but there was a lot of sort of trauma to absorb first. And also, in the end, he had to rely last night on Tom Ford missing a couple. Noppon Saengkham, he's not guaranteed
92.
to do that.
$93.
So he looked for all the world to be 4-1 down. He won that last frame with a terrific clearance. Now he needs the black, and it's 3-3. And it's going very much on.
It really is. Superb break.
101.
Very studious on every shot. That little routine where he just eases himself into the shots, and nothing really seems to change. Even now the frame is won, he's almost got a drill which just takes him into the shot, the right angle every time.
106. $108.
Well, as we said earlier, these last couple of semi-finals, he lost to Mark Allen 6-1 on both occasions. Didn't really show up, but this is different today. Producing exactly the sort of snooker you need to against a great of the game at this stage of a tournament.
$115.
And although there'll be plenty of people here, of course, who want to see this man win on home soil, they'll be appreciating the quality of this contribution.
120.
Slight frown there on his face. He knows he's got hard work to do now in this match.
126.
Because Noppon Saengkham has come very much alive here. Wonderful break that. A total clearance of 133 from Thailand's Noppon Saengkham. Right back in it now. The second semi-final, all square at 3 frames each.
Hi, I'm Ronnie O'Sullivan and welcome to Eurosport Snooker on YouTube. Click here to subscribe to Eurosport Snooker.